Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good day to Sir Shakir, our course coordinator for this SAM's Strategic Entrepreneurship subject, APT 3083. My name is Muhammad Shaheen bin Kamara Anwar, followed with my group members, Ning Nur Ardawati, Wong Sinja, and Nur Atira Nabila. We are from Group 11 and will be presenting for the final topic of this subject, which is topic 11. So, shall we start? So the topic we'll be presenting today is actually the challenges and the current issues in the strategy entrepreneurship. So for my part, I shall be give you an introduction for this topic we'll be presenting. So the challenges in strategic entrepreneurship. Uh, as we know, strategic entrepreneurship is basically the strategy we implement in our business in order for us to achieve success and gain profit. So what are the stuff, what are strategies we implement, what for such our marketing strategies, our operational process, and etc. So basically the challenges in strategic entrepreneurship is what uh, halts the progress for the strategic entrepreneurship that entrepreneurs need to overcome in order to move forward for their business. So here I've listed four sources of strategy, which is four sources of challenges in strategic entrepreneurship, which are establishing new technology and innovation, establishing new economic, social, institutional, cultural environments, understanding how business is affected by official regulations and criminal law, and as well as investors finding ventures potential attractiveness in entrepreneurs' firm. So these four sources are the main challenges and shall be presented by my next member, Atira. But for now, let's talk about the challenges of growth. So, growing in a business, for an entrepreneur, he or she must grow the business in order for the business to expand and gain more profit and success. So, in that growing process, there is a set of challenges when growing the firm. So I've given three examples for challenges when growing a business in any of the stages. One of it is actually cash flow management. So as we all know, cash flow management is very important in establishing a business and within a company. This is to ensure that no losses can be obtained by the company and to reduce as much possible risk faced by the company. So with poor cash flow management, we could predict major or minor losses that will be suffered by the entrepreneur because for example in a early stage of growing the business, we would have less experience on cash flow management, so there will be higher probability of having more loss during the early stages of growing the business compared to the later stages of growing the firm, where we are more experienced on cash flow management, where we can reduce the possible risk to a minimum. The next example I've listed is keeping up with the market changes. So you're in the mobile phone industry, and years ago, the flip phones are a major trend in the market. But ever since the company iPhone introduces a touchscreen phone, the market changes drastically, where the trend leans towards phones with touch screens instead of flip phones and mechanical keyboard within the phone. So you as an entrepreneur have to keep up with this market changes in order for your company to consistently sustain itself throughout the years. So that's for keeping up with market changes. Next, the example I've given is to respond to competition. This is because, for example, if you're in a boutique industry where you sell clothes, blouses, and your competitors are selling the same type of clothes, so how do you respond to this competition? It is You should respond by innovate yourself, by making innovation, implement new ideas and new marketing strategies probably. So this thing is the challenge when you are trying to grow your company, because there are other competitors within your business circle. So these challenges that I mentioned will not allow any entrepreneur to even have any competitive vacuum throughout the business. So what this competitive vacuum means? Competitive vacuum is actually when a business completely dominates and monopoly the competition. So these challenges set boundaries for these entrepreneurs so that they are unable to exponentially dominate the game, and so that it creates a slightly fair sort of play for the entrepreneurs within the circle. And also another challenge when growing your business is that when your business grows bigger, larger, having more production, more profit, it will take the market share away from your rival firms, your competitors. Uh, Thus, this event shall create a retaliation within your rivals. This is because they view yourself as a threat, as a competitor. Thus, they are trying to, as yourself, innovate themselves, reinvent themselves, create new ideas, implement new ideas, gain more creativity for their business in order for their business to grow and ensure to take their market share back from your company and dominate the game again. So that is one of the challenges you need to keep in mind when you're having a business and growing your firm. So this sort of stuff you need to plan ahead before the actual event strikes. So these challenges plays a big role in your strategical entrepreneurship. That's all for my part. We shall move on to our next presenter, which is Atira. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum and hi, I am Antira and today I'll be discussing on the sources of challenges. So basically as a business owner, what you need to ask yourself or your organization when you're about to start a business is that what and where can you actually get or obtain sources of challenges. So basically there are four components of sources of challenges. First is law and regulation. Second is technology and innovation. Third is investors. While the last one will be social and society. So, in a company, a strategic plan is very important as it is actually a formalized depiction of your company's goals, strategies, and tactics over a specific period of time. Those four factors are what company leaders must consider when preparing a plan, including potential opportunities and threats in the legal environment. Alright, so let's discuss on the first component, which is the law and regulation. Legal issues are one of several categories of potential threats a company. As a business owner, you must be able to predict and plan your business, as laws and regulations might be changing by time. For example, for law and authority, as well as federal level. Giving a scenario, real estate companies must constantly monitor changes in housing market regulations to best serve their clients and also to avoid legal violations. Another advantage is that the capability of recognizing regulation changes early is that you can potentially diversify your offering to match. Moving on to the next point is the technology and innovation. Basically, introducing technological change into an organization presents a different set of challenges to management. This is because being creative and innovative would bring side effect in future revenues, which is why entrepreneurs need to be very particular, especially in selecting raw material, partner, and whatnot. The critical expenses of for creating new technologies will only cause or become a challenge or risk to an organization or business. Because the return of investment is unsure and not yet confirmed. So you would ask yourself, is it worth it to actually spend a huge or large amount of money on something that you are not even confirmed of the outcome? So for the third point, which is investors, um, investors is actually someone or a party who is actually find the venture potential attractive. Skill and experience of venture keep the ability to deliver the potential. And they actually talks about experienced key person. As mentioned by Chi Chi before, key person is involved in strategic attribute, non-substitute as no one can compete them in running the job or business. Key challenges is about bringing the right person. For example, we pay a high amount of salary to someone who is actually not capable of doing what the company asks or want. So end up, company would lose the money. And last but not least, for social and society, challenges in terms of social of community impact. What are the economic system or model to be developed while we have strategic plan in our business? Owner usually would try to get raw material. So big question would be, is it worth it to bring in new material which has no guarantee on its safetiness and energy? Will the company be able to accept the changes to uh, sorry, will the society or community be able to accept the changes the company brings? So those are the sources of challenges. Thank you.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum. My name is Aida. So today I'm going to present about sustaining competitiveness. So sustainable competitive advantage are commonly assets, attributes, or ability that are difficult to be duplicated or exceed. And basically, the competitive advantage can provide a superior or favorable long-term position over the competitor. So we must always make sure that our competitive advantage is sustained. So basically, the decision how to sustain the competitive advantage can be achieved by answering a few questions, which is 12 questions. So I'm going to explain one by one from the number 1 until number 12. So the first question is about what are the major economic trends, technology trend, political trend on national level. So for example, right now we already in the MCO period from March. So basically, of course, the economic trend is declining. So for example, I'm the owner of the food industry, for example, Food Panda. So of course, we know that right now there are a lot of people lost their jobs and also lost of their incomes. So basically, most of the customer will choose the company that provide the affordable price, affordable COD price, and which which come with the quality also. So in order to attract more customers to choose my company, so basically I will reduce the COD charge. Besides, we need also to consider about the technology trend. So right now, a lot of people depends on the handphone, internet right now. So basically, I will use this medium in order to advertise the existence of my company and also uh, keep updated on the discount, that special gift, special offer, to make sure that customer or the people out there know my company existence and what we can provide for them. And the second question is about the total industry sales for the past 5 years. Basically, we need to look at uh, about the sales. It is increasing or declining, or if it is increasing, so basically can maintain the plan. But if it is declining, so basically we need to change the plan. And third question is anticipated growth for this industry. For the food industry like GrabFood, Food Panda, so basically based on the for the past 5 years, this industry is good, which is increasing, achieve the goal, which is more people use these apps to order the food, to order the grocery. So basically, if it increase and more people use this industry, which is more people get in touch with the industry, so maybe me, for example, one of the company that involved in the industry can produce more service, not only food and beverage delivery, maybe can plan something new, for example, grocery delivery. And the fourth question is about how many firms have entered this industry. So basically, if the more firms enter, so the more competitor will much challenge. So we must do something to maintain the number of customer and make sure they not switch to other company. And the fifth question is about what new product have recently introduced. Maybe is it the product is follow the demand of the customer or not. And nearest competitor. So we must observe and must recognize who is the nearest competitor that sells or provide the same service like the company. For example, Food Panda, the competitor is GrabFood. And the seventh question is how will your business operate be better than competitor. So basically, maybe to make sure for example, the Food Panda is better than their competitor. For example, GrabFood, maybe they can provide the very fast customer service, which is respond rapidly to the any customer demand. Yeah. And the eighth is about are the sales of the competitor declining, steady or increase. So we must plan. If the sale is declining, so plan the better plan. And if steady, maybe we can keep with the previous plan, or maybe we can switch to other plans to improve the sales. And the ninth question is about the strength and weakness of competitors. So we must analyze the competitor. Maybe we can do a competitor analysis, which is looks what is the strength by do some research, or maybe we can ask the regular customer that use the company. And the 10th question is about what trends occurring on specific market. So basically, we must observe the other industry too, and look what is the trends right now, and we must follow the trends. And the 11 is about what is profile of the customer. So we must look the profile of the customer. For example, most of the customer is come from the huge family or from the worker and where they live. So focus on them. And how does the customer profile differ from the competitor? So basically, we must look towards two kind of customer, which is our customer and also the customer of the competitor. And maybe we can analyze why the customer choose that company and why not choose us, and why our customer choose us as their choose us to get the service or product, and why not from the another company. So from this we can differ the customer profile. That's all.
Hi, Sir Shakir and my fellow friends. My name is Wong Xinjia, matrix number D18A0043. And after my friends talk about the challenges and the issues faced by the entrepreneur, now I'm going to talk about future research. So what is future research? Future research is to study every entrepreneur that has been running business whether they are having the capability to think strategically in whatever activities in their business. And this future research is to assist entrepreneurs, no matter they are researchers, students, lecturer, or they are already advanced entrepreneur, in enhancing the strategic entrepreneurship in real practice. So there are four main points in this future research to analyze the entrepreneur. The first one is whether they have the ability to develop new methods or exploit new market opportunities, or even continually refine strategy in a changing business environment. For example, in this MCO period, do they have the new methods in promoting their business? For example, do they change their way of approaching the customers? Will they do it online, or do they still do it like what they normally do? And then next will be, should this strategic entrepreneur be considered as a process or a discrete concept which in and of itself is a potential source of competitive advantage? This one, as an entrepreneur that can think strategically, they should know that strategic entrepreneurship is a process of executing strategic planning in order for the business to have the competitive advantage, and not only a discrete concept. For example, a firm should know that the process of making the right decision, such as choosing a raw material or choosing the strategic supplier, is the key point in giving the business a competitive advantage. The third one is how the firm employs an entrepreneurial mindset to explore these opportunities to create advantage, means how they make a very strategic choice. They have to behave very strategically and entrepreneurially. For example, are they able to identify the main problems in their business? Do they have a clear picture of the problem in hand? So if yes, then the process of listing out the solutions can be taken up very easily. Then only the best final decision, which is the strategic choice, can be made. For example, a firm, when hiring new employee, they have to think what kind of employee do they need the most? Does this employee fulfill what their business needs? And the last one is conflict among the components. So in this future research, we study the entrepreneur and then whether they know how to choose the components correctly. Since there are various kind of components to choose from, and of course one will prefer the cheaper one, but cheap doesn't mean it can really benefit the business. So in this research, we will see whether the entrepreneur knows how to analyze between different components and make strategic choice in choosing their business components. For example, the location of a cafe. A shop lot at less crowded place has cheaper renting fees, but it will not bring as much profit as having the cafe at a crowded place. So in conclusion, issues and challenges are not referring to the problem, but they are beyond that, such as a new finding or innovation or new solutions. They are valuable knowledge that can help entrepreneurs to implement the best strategy and offer to minimize the rates of failure in business. So issues and challenges are also important for future research, as they provide a contribution to the strategy and increase the value in the acquiring firm. And so that's all from our group in presenting chapter 11. Thank you very much.